Welcome back. You're watching Investors Guide in ET Now. Thank you for staying with us. I brought in Suresh Surana this week to answer the questions you sent in on tax. Suresh, thank you for joining us. Nilesh has written in. He tells us he's an NRI who bought a home that's under construction in Bhandup in Mumbai. Now, he recently received a letter from the builder asking him to pay service tax of 35,000 rupees. And also, the builder told him if he delays paying that tax, that he will be liable to pay a 21% interest on it. He wants to know if service tax is applicable in this case and how it's been calculated. Suresh?
Yeah, so Nilesh, since the property is under construction, it is deemed to be having a taxable component of the service. So if the flat is less than 2,000 square feet carpet area and less than 1 crore, then on 25% of the total value of the property, there is a service tax at 12.36%. So it almost becomes 3.09%. And that service tax is applicable, in this case. Now, whether your agreement, what you signed up with the developer, you need to check whether the price is excluding service tax or is it including service tax. If the price is excluding service tax, then he will charge you separately for that. The rate of 21%, what he is charging, basically under the service tax law, the interest is varying from 18% to 30%, depending on the period of delay. So I think that is where probably here in this case the builder has asked for 21% interest payment, and which then he would be obliged to pay if you don't pay him in time.
Our next question comes in from Nirmal Jaising, who bought a home that was under construction in 2009. Now, he writes in to tell us that he got possession in 2013, but he wishes to now sell that home. He wants to know if he sells it, will he have to pay short-term capital gains tax or long-term capital gains tax? Suresh?
Yeah, so Nirmal, in this case, since you had acquired definitive rights, in respect of the immovable property in 2009, when you entered into the agreement for purchase, and more than 3 years have elapsed from that date, it will be treated as a long-term capital asset. And as a long-term capital asset, you are entitled to a lower rate of tax, which is 20%, and also you can get the benefit of indexation. In case you decide to invest in bonds under section 54 EC up to rupees 50 lakhs, also you can claim exemption under 54 EC. In respect of reinvestment in residential house property, there could be a slight controversy whether that date should be reckoned from the date of actual possession or whether from the date of the agreement. But I think many courts have taken a view that a liberal view should be taken and it should be counted from 2009 even for the purpose of reinvestment in residential property.
All right, our last question comes in from Vijay Mohan, who wants to know what he should do to be exempt from paying tax on the interest that he earns and if there are any such exemptions. Suresh, unfortunately, we don't know if he's a senior citizen, but what would you like him to do?
Yeah, so Vijay, that is a fairly broad-based question. You have various exemptions under income tax for interest income. There are tax-free bonds which are issued. So recently we had tax-free bond issue of HUDCO and also IRFC. So there the tax rate, you don't pay any tax on that interest income, although the rate of return is lower than the normal instruments. You also have a deduction under section 80 TTA for any interest you get on the saving bank account up to rupees 10,000. If you are a non-resident, then any interest you are getting on the NRE account or FCNR account, then that is exempted from tax. So these are some of the major type of interest incomes which are exempted from tax altogether.
That's a wrap on Investors Guide. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, any question at all that you have about your money, it'll be our pleasure to hear from you. You can also reach me personally on my Twitter account and give me feedback on the show. Thank you so much for watching.